Okay guys, so I'm doing a reading for the collective. I will not be taking requests because I'm just going to see what comes through, and then the full reading will be on YouTube where you can see the cards and everything like that. I thought it'd be fun to film it while, like, be on live while I film it. So I'm just going to ground myself first. And then open up the channel. Okay, so we're going to start out hot and heavy with the category of love. So I'm going to pull an overall, we're saying wait. We're going to just do these decks first. All right, so let me shuffle these. Cool. So we're doing a love reading right now. What can you expect in love? Ooh. For the next little while. So let's see, they're saying start with the Hunter card. So the first word I heard when I touched this card was hungry. Feels like your whole life you've just been hungry for a healthy dynamic when it comes to love. Mainly because you had a lot of examples of what unhealthy looked like. And so there was a small part of you that was like, not small part, a big part of you that was like, I'm never doing this. If I can't do it healthy, I'm just not going to do it, meaning, you know, getting to serious relationships. And so they're saying that although in each relationship you've been in, you really did put your best foot forward and really make the effort, but it seems like you also walled off a part of yourself in order to keep yourself from getting too emotionally invested into something that you didn't believe would actually work. So it's kind of like you saw where people were at in terms of their ability to give you the kind of relationship that you're looking for, and if they weren't able to meet that, then they just stayed, you know, on a lower level of commitment, whether they were aware of that or not. And they're saying that many times, a lot of times, the people that you engage with had no idea that they were on that lower level. And so I think it's interesting this Hunter card comes out because they're saying that your whole life you've kind of been hunting for this healthy dynamic that you believe is possible, but you're not really sure how to build it. They don't want you to stop hunting because this is the fact that you can envision it. They're saying, like, it doesn't even matter if it exists yet exactly the way you see it, because what matters is that this is what you envision, so you're going to build it whether it exists or not. But they're saying that it does exist. So when it comes to hunting, they really, instead of hunting for the perfect person, they're saying if you focus on a person, then you're off base. That's not what you need to do. Focus on the dynamic, like focus on finding examples of the dynamic that you're looking for in the wild so that you can look at them and be like, okay, those person have it, those people have it. A really good example of this kind of like really divine union type of relationship is French Kiwi Juice and his wife, Sundrop Garden. Those are their artist names, obviously, but they have a really beautiful connection, and they share examples of that. They showed like their wedding video, and it was like low-key in the most beautiful bohemian way. They shared a video of her home birth. They show examples of their creativity and how they like flow together and things like that. So looking for examples of this divine union, that's what they really want you to hunt for. Because they're saying this is going to get into different cards. They're saying to go to this card next. So they're saying that up until now, you've kind of been scanning for the right person, and you're like, when I see the right person, like, that's going to be it. Like, that's going to, like, I'm just waiting for the right person to come along, and then I'm going to lock it down, and that's going to be it. And they're saying they want you to shift your perspective because there's not any one perfect person. It's more about, like, are the two of you willing to actually build? So the reason why this card came out is because, like, who wouldn't want to marry like a hunk like this? Like, he looks like intelligent, and he looks confident, and he looks magical, and he looks like he knows shit, he knows how to turn you on, knows how to turn, like, all those things. And so they're saying, like, this is kind of the ideal you've been waiting for. But that's not actually how it works. It works by picking a person and then building this with them. And some of you are kind of picking fruit off the tree before it's ripe, you know, so you may need to wait a little bit for that fruit to really ripen. But they're saying, they're not asking that you throw away your current relationships, because that's not what it is. Just, does this person have the willingness, the ability, the sight to grow in all the ways that you are also growing, and are they as committed to building this healthy partnership with you too? And if they're not, then that's someone that you get rid of, because, you know, not get rid of, but let go, because they're not looking for the same things that you are, you know. Like, what you're really looking for is a commitment to self-actualization. You're looking for integrity, you're looking for strong morals, you're looking for leadership, you're looking for passion, you're looking for love, you're looking for intelligence, you know. And all of those things can be developed in a person, because a lot of us, we come in as our beautiful, perfect selves, and then, you know, family happens to us, friends happens to us, society happens to us, and we learn how to shrink ourselves, right? So a lot of us are these kind of unbudded, like, unblossomed flower buds. And so it's not that the person that you're with can't be this person. It's just like they have some developing time. And are they committed to doing that work for themselves, or are they just kind of trying to pass it on to you and saying, you know, you're the problem all the time? Because that's not the case. So I think that's really interesting. And then the last card is this Self card. So I think this is awesome. We're on the topic of love right now, and the fact that the Self card came out. It's just a reminder to focus on your heart's desire, you know, focus on, like, a lot of things is like, a lot of things will say, like, just focus on yourself and everything will turn out. And it's like, yes, that's true, but also focus on your heart's desire, you know, because a lot of you are kind of, I'm hearing, like, not voicing what you actually want, not asking for what you want. And that's what keeps you from getting your heart's desire, because you're not speaking up. You know, a lot of people, they can't read your mind, you know. And it's best for you to be your own self-advocate, for you to advocate for yourself and speak up for yourself. And they're saying, like, this is challenging, because it directly confronts your ability, your desire to be liked, your desire for, like, not smoothness is not the right word, but, like, you don't want to rock the boat, you know. And sometimes the things that you want are going to rock the boat, and you know that. They're saying, say it anyway. Jordan Peterson has a great quote where he says, you know, tell the truth and see what happens, but you never lose by telling the truth. You deserve to be surrounded by people that accept and support and champion your truth. And think of the beautiful things, relationships included, that you can build from an honest, authentic, vulnerable place. So what I'm hearing is that if you're in partnership and the partner that you're with is open to feedback, is willing to, you know, work through conflict with you and use that as a catalyst for intimacy. If you love this person and this person is also doing the work on themselves, that's great. That's exactly who you should stay with. We're not looking for the perfect ideal partner. That's not it. If you're not in partnership, then focus on, you know, when you're dating, speak your heart's true desires. Even if you're in a relationship, speak your heart's true desires. But especially when you're dating, like, you're trying to weed people out fast, you know. You're not trying to get them to like you and then get them to act the way you want. That is just a waste of time. So they're saying, really speak your truth and let everything readjust around you so that you can be happy in that truth. Okay, so that is love. And I'm just going to pull I got this new deck. It's a moon astrology deck. And so I'm going to use it as just like a closing card to kind of capture the vibe. So let's see. Upside down. Yeah, it was upside down. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. This one. Is this one card? It's two cards. The card is nothing will come of this situation. So let me ask what that means. Nothing will come of this situation. They're saying you're not going to get what you want if you don't speak up for yourself and, like, really actually go after what you want. Like, that hunter card comes to mind. So nothing will come of it if you don't speak up for yourself. Okay, so The next category will be career. What does everybody need to know about career, your job? Maybe you're thinking about starting a business, you're an entrepreneur. What do you need to know? Hold on. It's this one. And again, guys, if you are tuning in on the live, I'll be uploading the full reading to YouTube. Ooh, thought card, the gem card, and the journeyman. Okay, saying start with thought. Okay, so regarding career, they really want you to think about your current station in life, where you're at right now, and think about how you feel. Think about how you feel about going to work on Monday, or think about, the next project that you're going to be working on. Like, what kind of feeling does that give you in your heart? Is it a feeling of excitement? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that I get to do this. I feel like I'm making a big impact. I feel like I'm doing my life's work. Is that how you feel? Or do you feel differently? They really want you to think about where you see yourself in the future. Like, what's the big picture thing down the line? Like, what, and not even like, oh, I'm going to be a doctor in 20 years. I'm going to have a practice. It's not that. What feelings do you want to have big picture down the line? I know, speaking personally, I want to have freedom. I want to have the freedom to do what I want, go where I want, build what I want, create what I want, right? I want to feel like I'm just bathing in the universal flow of creativity that comes to me through downloads. And I want to make an impact on the world. I want to help other people, right? So they're saying, like, what are those big picture feelings that you want to have? And all you need to do is just make tiny adjustments towards that. A lot of people, it feels like, are feeling stuck right now. Like, this is just where I'm at. I don't really see how I get from there to there. And they're saying to think about how you can get from here to here is way too far of a distance. They want you to focus smaller. How can you get from here to tomorrow? How can you get from tomorrow to next week? How can you get from next week to next month? Think in terms of that instead of in terms of like, will I get that promotion? Like salary focuses, like all of those things are distractions. They don't want you to think about those things. They want you to think about, am I making steps in the right direction? Am I feeling like I'm moving my heart? Is my heart energy? Do I feel in love? Do I feel happy? Do I feel excited about the work that I do today? Because that is what's going to carry you to meet that like bigger down the line, big picture moment. So that's the first thing. And they're saying the journey. So as soon as I touched this card, I saw like you packing light, like just not going for like a several day hike, but maybe you're just going for like a day's hike. So you have like a light pack. You're like walking really strong, like striding forward with confidence and with power. Like you have your water bottle, like you're in great shape, but you're at the beginning of that day's hike. You're still fresh. You're still like, ready to, you haven't really exerted yourself too much. You're feeling good, and they're showing me that not only is this the point in the hike where you're kind of in the learning stage, in the beginning stage, but they also want you to know that like that confidence, that youthful vigor, that excitement about like, where will this journey take me? Like, what is the mystery? What is the magic? Like all of that. They're saying that that's where you are right now. And to really enjoy that, like they're showing me by contrast someone who, like, for example, is walking across the United States. Like on the first day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever, it's very exciting. It's a very cool trip. But then now you have to settle into the actual work of doing that trip, right? And if you didn't do that walk because you really wanted to and actually enjoyed it, then it can get really grinding. And so they're saying, as a reflection on your work, like, is this a hike where you feel refreshed and excited and confident and confident about this journey that you're taking, or are you feeling like weighed down and overburdened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? So they're really inviting you to see like, what things can I change or adjust or add or subtract to bring more joy into my journey so that I can do this from a place of empowerment and excitement and like from a position of knowing you're giving back versus like being like super weighed down by like too many responsibilities, overworked, underpaid, like all of that energy. And then the gem. So the first thing I heard when I touched this card was multifaceted. It seems like the collective, like my soul family, you guys are multifaceted. You have so many gifts and abilities, and it's okay that all of your gifts and abilities are not currently being utilized in the job that you're in now. that's kind of giving you room and space to focus on outside of work type of things, you know. They still would like you to explore outlets for those different gifts that you have, even if they're completely incongruous with, you know, who you are on a professional scale. So maybe like you're a nurse, but on the side you're like a green witch or something, you know. Like create with all of your gifts, but they don't all need to be sold to the highest bidder in the form of a salary, you know. And that's going to add some depth and richness to your life. And they're showing me like old school, like in the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, like old school clubs where people would like get together and, you know, build cars or get together and play bridge and things like that, like social clubs. They're saying like you guys need a lot more community and a lot more connection with your community around your gifts, instead of always focusing on, you know, finances and career path and things like that. Like some things just need to be enjoyed just to be enjoyed. And then play around with inviting more of those aspects of yourself that are not always reflected in your job. Like I'm seeing a lot of people like not living their full authentic self across the board. And that is what you're striving towards. You're ideally, you don't change your expression of self according to who's in the room. And in a lot of cases, I'm seeing like a lot of people are currently doing that. And so they're saying it's not like, hey, you just pop up one day with like shocking pink hair because that's something you're into. Just like start introducing more and more of yourself into your workspace, your job. Like start expressing yourself more, because that will open you up to more opportunities. People won't see you as just one dimensional, as just a worker, as just a this, as just a that, you know, project manager, whatever. They'll see you for more and include you in more. And also like be open to other opportunities through networking. It feels like once people see the multidimensional nature of you, you'll spark connections in their heads. Like, oh, you should talk to this person, or oh my gosh, you would love this person, and it'll help you to expand socially, but also professionally. Excuse me. Okay, so that is career, and now I'm going to pull that Moon Oracle card. Let's see what comes out. Thanks for joining me, guys. There it is, right there. This one. The card is Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan. I got this card for myself the other day, and it's so true. So let me tap in and see what the message is. They're saying self-explanatory, like make an actual list, like that, going back to that idea of like day by day by day. Focus on like short-term things that you can do to move you closer. It's not about like big wins right now. It's just about consistency and consistently moving yourself closer to your dreams. Okay. So next I'm feeling family, which is interesting because I don't normally consider like the family category, but they're saying family, so we will do that. This card. This one. Ooh, a third card, and this one. Okay. Ooh, we have that journeyman again. We have the maiden. We have a reversal, our first reversal. Two reversals. Reversals on emotions and reversal on the, what is this card? Nine of Water. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see. So first the emotions card, the reverse emotions card. So I'm seeing along your family line like a lot of suppression of emotions that were not considered like easy. That's really it. That's that's the criteria. Like if your emotions did not cause ease for other people, then they were like suppressed, you know. So anger, frustration, desires for apologies, like things like that. And so what I'm hearing is that you're trying to get your family lineage to the point where you're at will be a much bigger lift than just starting to express that version of yourself on your own and let them witness that, but not let them have complete access to you. Like it feels like there's still some like a lot of like old hurts with family that have not necessarily been addressed, kind of under the umbrella of like, well, they're never going to change, so I guess I'm just like, what's the point, like what's the effort, like that kind of energy. And what I'm hearing is have patience with them. A lot of this like reversal, like this card is about, first of all, the space not being, like, these are like cliche, right? Like the space was not made for them, therefore they didn't know how to hold the space for you, but also laziness and also fear, you know, like at the core of all this is a lot of fear, that, you know, we all recognize, like the fear of, well, what if I'm my authentic self? What if I push back and people, you know, ostracize me or hurt me or blah, 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 right? So I'm really feeling like you're being called to be one in your family that really pushes for this level of self-acceptance, and like self-love that has not been evident in your family. So that's really important first. So you can go to the maiden next. So it feels like you're nearing the end of your maiden phase, and it's not like a sudden thing. It's not like tomorrow you're gonna be a full-ass woman. It's not that. It just feels like you're coming to the end of your maiden phase, and you know it because you're taking things more seriously this time around. It feels like stupid things that you may have like allowed yourself to indulge in or get caught up in the past like aren't even that attractive to you anymore, you know. And this is a good thing. It means that you're maturing, but they want you to know that the reason why we progress through all these stages, so the full stages is like the child and then the youth and then the like mother, like the woman, the mother figure, and then the crone or the sage, right, like the older person. And so they're saying the reason why you progress through these stages is not to completely 100% retire these versions of yourself. It's not that you're like, fuck that, like childlike joy, never gonna deal with that again, you know. It's not that. They're saying that the reason why you progress through these stages is to take the best of these stages along with you as you go into the next. So they're going to tell me what the best parts of being a maiden is. So it feels like carefree energy, like light on your feet, not taking things too seriously, like able to laugh at yourself, open-hearted, like still looking at the world through like crystal eyes, like, oh my gosh, like everything's so beautiful and wonderful, the sun is shining, like, you know what I mean, like not that like bowed under responsibility and obligation, like not that energy. And so they really want you to carry this forward into the next phase of your life. Like I'm hearing like you can be a fun mom, you can be a fun business owner, you can be a fun wife. Like you don't have to take on these roles and allow them to kind of bury you under the weight of them. That's not the intention. So that's really important for you to know. So that feels like more about your family, like in the future. As you move into that, they're going to do that one last. So the next card we're going to do is that reverse 9 of water. I heard you're done praying for your family. Like, it's not that you don't love them, obviously, like, going to put all these caveats, not that you don't love them, that you don't care about them, any things like that, but it's just kind of like you've accepted that they are where they are, and you've also accepted the possibility that they are not interested in moving past this point. It feels like in the past, if this was like right side up, you would be in a place where you really wanted that to be different, but because it's reversed, it's kind of like you have let that go, and that's from a good place, you know. It's not like a place of disempowerment. It's just like, hey, you know, that's it, I'm not going to really push for this anymore. So kudos to you, because that's really amazing energy. And they want you to make sure that you address the pain that's associated with this, you know, because you don't want it to be like, fuck it, like I have no power, I'm just gonna fucking like whatever, dude, like not that energy. It's just kind of like, I have space for you to not move past this place and still like envelop you in my love. So definitely from a place of empowerment instead of irritation or frustration or wanting people to be something that they're not. Finishing up with this journeyman card. They're saying it's all part of the journey, but also to recognize that people come with different intentions for what they want to experience when they come down here. And so not looking at your family as though you have to save everybody. Like there is such a myriad of rich experiences that we can choose to have. Like maybe someone in your family just really wanted to have a life where they just never overcame disempowerment, so they could really know what it feels like to never escape disempowerment for the next life, do you know? So just respecting everyone's journey and not thinking that you know better than anybody else, because we're all just here doing our best, you know? Okay, so that is for family, and now I'm going to pull this Moon Oracle card. Let's see what comes up with family. What is this one? A fiery climax approaches. Interesting. So let's see why this is coming up. So they're saying to steer clear of conflict. It's not going to serve you any good to kind of like allow yourself to sink down. Have you ever seen the emotion scale where it's like joys at the top and fears at the bottom? I think that's what it is. Or loves at the top, fears at the bottom. Don't let yourself sink down that emotional scale to the place of like anger. Basically, don't meet them on their level. Now, they're not saying don't express your emotions, don't express your thoughts, but don't allow them to take you out of your calm and your power. And remember, you can always walk away. But it just feels like, especially as you move into your power more, that may trigger people in your family. I think that's super interesting when that happens, because it's like you all came from the same place, and so when you start doing something that's different or other, it's just easier to point it at you and like make you the problem. So they're saying don't sink to that level. Very interesting. There we go. Okay. See, any other categories? Friendship. What is there? Oh, that just popped out. Cards don't normally pop out for me, so we will go with that. The unseen. I'm saying top 2 off the stack. Okay, that was easy. Journeyman again. And emotions again. Okay. Start with the journeyman. So it's kind of like you're learning that, okay, so you're learning that not everybody's along for the ride type of thing, you know, and they want you to know that that's okay. There are people that do not have the capacity for you to change the version of yourself that interacts with them, you know, so they're okay with you, you know, if you're exactly like them, but as soon as you start to change, like that causes tension and friction. And so they don't want you to look at how long you've been friends as a marker for why you should keep them. They said you can have closer, more intimate and, you know, authentic relationships with people you've just met, mainly because you can meet them at the point where you currently are. Like you can present yourself as this current version of yourself and not have to fall back into old patterns and habits. So they really want you to focus on that. And then this emotions card, this is kind of a reminder that, you know, we can't choose our family, but we can choose our friends. And so are you choosing people that you really can be vulnerable with, that you can feel supported by? Like, are there any tensions or weird energy or things like that you're putting up with? And they're like, for what? Like, these are people that you voluntarily choose to spend your time with. And you can also choose to voluntarily not. So they really want you to sit with your emotions around different people. And they're saying some of these people are like, your relationship triggers things in you that are there for healing. So it's not about like, is there conflict or not? It's more about like, when there is conflict, how do you move through it in the relationship with this person? You know, are they supportive? Are they understanding? Are they willing to have their perspective shifted when they hear truth? You know, things like that. Very important. And then the unseen. So I thought this was going to be something completely different, but what it's actually saying is there's so many people you haven't even met yet that are going to be your biggest cheerleaders, your biggest support, that will help you, that will lead you, that will love you, that will, you know, be your deepest friends. And so don't worry about who you have to let go. There's boundless people that are always coming in. As you increase in your level of healing, then you access different levels of resonance with other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, the version of yourself 10 years ago would not resonate with your friends of today, you know, new friends of today. But that's a beautiful thing, you know. So as you grow, you gain access to more people that you are in resonance with, that are on a level that you never would have seen in the past. So the people that you have to let go, like, don't be afraid to clear that space out for new friends to step in, because like they said, you can't choose your family, but you can definitely choose your friends. So pick good friends, you know? That was a quick one. Okay, and then we're going to read this moon card. Saw this one in submitted. Emotions are running high. So saying don't be afraid to be emotional with your friends, but not just venting, you know, like cry to them, like when you're sad, like when you need support, like really strive to be vulnerable. And they're saying also, like, feel into who it's safe to be that with. You know, like, not every single one of your friends is going to be able to support you in the same way. By design, that's ideal. But don't be afraid to be vulnerable in your relationship with your friends, because that is what you were missing in your family. You know, you were missing really feeling seen and understood, and not being able to be emotionally vulnerable with each other was what kept you guys from having those close bonds. Not say that you don't have bonds with your family, but not where you just feel like you can be your 100% self, but with your friends you have that opportunity. So I love that. So that is it for this collective reading. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Okay?